Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Xander Kyriakis will settle on a pillow-smothering plot. It turns out Xander will sneak in Philip Kyriakis' hospital room to finish his brother off. So let's talk about all the dual drama. Kate Roberts Brady was livid when she found out Xander was out on bail, so she pushed Belle Black to do something about this. After the way Xander went after Philip, Kate obviously doesn't think he needs to be roaming around Salem. Xander has reverted to a dangerous version of himself, so Kate's right to be concerned. Days spoilers say Xander will prove he's definitely still a threat when he pays Philip another visit on June 16th. Once Xander corners Philip alone in his hospital room, he'll grab a pillow and prepare to snuff him out. Xander remains furious over Philip's betrayal, so revenge will remain a factor here. That said, Xander's biggest reason for going after Philip again may be to make sure he doesn't testify against him. Of course, Days spoilers say Philip will live to tell the tale, so Xander's next elimination scheme won't go according to plan. Xander will ultimately be forced to abandon his second attempt to get rid of Philip for good. Will Philip find Xander standing over him with a pillow after he regains consciousness? Will Philip threaten to sound the alarm, or will Xander simply ditch his plot when he realizes someone's coming? Regardless, Days spoilers say Xander will fail to end Philip's life as the week of June 16 to 20 kicks off. Philip's recovery will press on, but Kate won't want Xander to escape the justice he deserves. Kate will talk to a police officer at the hospital and become increasingly determined to make sure Xander returns to prison. Xander will be just as motivated to keep his freedom, so stay tuned for updates on his feud with Kate and any shocking news to come. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Xander will double down on his menacing side during the Philip scenes ahead. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, June 13th reveal that E.J. DiMera will spy Belle Black and Sean Brady's embrace, while Xander Kyriakis carries out a daughter fight. Kate Roberts Brady's interruption will also make some waves, so here's what Days has in store. At Titan, Stephanie Johnson will kiss Alex Kyriakis as they enjoy some romantic moments. Kate will eventually come along and derail all the office sizzling, which could put Alex in a tight spot. Since Stephanie decided she didn't want to move forward with publishing her manuscript, that's a problem since Alex already gave a copy to Kate. If Kate starts gushing about the anonymous author she's been reading at Alex's request, Stephanie may push for answers. At some point, Days fans will also see Kate back at Philip Kyriakis' bedside. That'll give Kate a chance to once again push Philip to wake up, and he might actually open his eyes this time around. Other Days spoilers say Sean will deliver an apology to Jada Hunter since he pretended to be sick and bailed on work. Sean lied during all the Bo Brady mayhem, so he'll be sorry about that on Friday's Duel episode. Of course, Jada will understand why Sean put Bo and this family reunion above everything else. You can bet Jada will be thrilled over Sean getting his father back, but they'll both hate that Bo's survival cost John Black his life. As for Belle, she'll share some sweet scenes with Sean in the town square. Sean will comfort Belle over John's passing, so EJ will witness a warm embrace between the exes. That'll stir up some jealousy for EJ, who'll eventually have an honest conversation with Belle since she pushed him away. Belle's going to make a tough confession, so she may acknowledge her head is spinning due to her loss. Although Belle hasn't turned off her feelings for EJ, she's not in a great place for love right now. It's especially hard since John wouldn't approve of Belle making EJ her main squeeze. Even if Belle backtracks on her dumping decision and leaves the door open to continue her EJ romance, it'll remain a messy situation for her. Next, let's talk about Xander, since he'll have a run-in with EJ and a tense encounter with Kayla Johnson as well. Xander is out on bail, so this will give him a chance to go shopping for Victoria Kyriakis and pick up a little something for his beloved daughter. However, Sarah Kyriakis may block Xander's attempt to visit since they have another Victoria-related showdown on the way. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Xander will make it clear that he's not giving Victoria up without a fight, so stay tuned for updates on any terrible news that's brewing. Jack's visiting Abigail's grave, gently laying flowers down on her headstone before asking her to show John around and welcome him up to heaven. Hope and Bo are exploring the square, where he marvels over how much has changed in Salem. Hope wants to get back to the house, but Bo promised Roman and Kate he'd be back. He's still struggling to believe John is gone. Julie gets home to find Jennifer sitting on the couch, staring off into space. She's surprised Jen didn't make it to John's wake, but Jennifer wanted to be with her family on the anniversary of Abigail's death. She couldn't do it this year, though, and breaks down as she talks about losing Doug and John. Julie comforts her and tells her they have to stick together at a time like this. It's a difficult time, but Doug taught her to appreciate her blessings, like her loving family. She just wishes Jack and Jennifer didn't have to leave so soon. "It's been wonderful seeing familiar faces," Jennifer says. Then they mention how amazing it is to see Bo back up and walking around. Hope shows up just then, and they all pull into a hug. Jennifer goes to get ice cream, and Julie and Hope discuss how strong she is. There's been so much loss, and Hope feels guilty over celebrating Bo's return as they lose John. Julie shoots that down and insists there's nothing to feel guilty over. Jennifer brings the ice cream back, and they dig in, with Julie wishing Doug was there to see Bo and Hope back together. Hope, though, reminds Julie that her dad wasn't always thrilled with Bo. Sure, but he won over both her and Doug over time. They flash back to Julie going all the way to Paris to tell Bo not to stop running away from Hope, then on to Bo and Hope on Ernesto's ocean liner. Back on the couch, they do an ice cream toast to Bo and Hope being back together. They talk a bit about the cruise of deception and surviving the ship sinking. That island, Jennifer says, is when she realized she found her soulmate. Jack joins them after an island flashback, but Jennifer tells him to get some sleep, and she'll join him soon. He heads upstairs to leave the ladies alone. A short time later, Hope and Jennifer, alone, are talking about the necklace Doug stole. Jen's already digging into it, but no luck so far. Hope offers to help her, but they cut it off when Julie comes back. Jennifer heads up to bed to join Jack and Hope, and Julie drop onto the couch. Hope can't believe Bo's going to walk through that door again. It's like they're starting all over again, with a long foundation of love to build on. Julie tells her to hold on to her gratitude through all that's to come, and Hope thanks her for loving her dad all those years. "Darling girl," Julie replies, "to be my relative twice over, I've always known you were my gift from God." Steve serves up some drinks at the wake in the Brady pub when Bo walks in to join Marlena, Steve, Kayla, Roman, and Shane. Steve toasts, "To John Black, without a doubt, the finest man I ever knew." Marlena thinks back to toasting with John, Hope, and Bo, and they all toast their fallen friend. They all take seats, and Roman marvels over how surreal it is to have Bo home. Marlena tells everyone how grateful she is for their friendships and the adventures they shared over the years. Steve pours out another round for Marlena to offer a toast this time. "To all of us." Bo recalls first meeting John in Miami, and Steve thinks back to the pawn first showing up in Salem, bandages and all. Kayla mentions Marlena stepping up to help John, which, Doc says, is when they began to fall in love. And that led to their next great adventure, figuring out who John was. They go through learning John had plastic surgery, Marlena's initial suspicion that he was Stefano, and we flash back to John and Marlena's white water rafting in West Virginia. Bo brings up all Shane did, including delivering his own son. And Shane, in turn, says how amazing it is that Andrew will soon be marrying John's son, Paul. We then move on to them thinking John was Roman, and the real Roman gets up to call Kate. Marlena joins him to apologize for the painful memories, but Roman says he's just sad about all he missed because of Stefano. Steve pours another round, telling everyone how once a year, he and John would sit in Black Patch and recite their enemies. So that's what they all do. Roman says Stefano de Mera. Marlena thinks a bit and goes with Orpheus, which Kayla agrees with. This leads to them talking about how and why Orpheus was so obsessed with revenge. We flash back to tracking Orpheus to Stockholm and John and Marlena making love after reuniting. Shane insists that they're all family, blood or not, and that through it all they'll have each other's backs. Marlena talks about all the times John saved her and the times she put his life in danger, which gives us the inevitable flashback of Marlena's possession. Roman heads to check on Kate and Philip, and Steve flashes back to saying goodbye to Bo and Hope as they sailed around the world. Bo admits they've been talking about that again, but Kayla asks him to wait a bit. She just got him back. Shane gets a call from Teresa, and Marlena admits that while John's no longer with them, he's still in her heart, and she'll never say goodbye to him. After they break up a bit, Bo asks Steve what Kayla meant earlier when she mentioned him retiring. Steve admits he doesn't want to do it alone, and Bo pitches Steve 2 new partners, him and Hope. But Steve doesn't need to decide right now. Shane hugs Marlena goodbye and says farewell to them all. Bo follows with his own goodbyes, telling Roman how great a job he's doing with the pub. He embraces Marlena, then heads out to Hope. Steve and Kayla follow suit, assuring Marlena they'll always be there for her. Alone, Roman apologizes for earlier, but Marlena tells him it's okay. She will always blame herself for breaking his heart. Roman insists he healed, moved on with Kate, and became good friends with John. He was an incredible man. Marlena's crying by the time they hug goodbye, saying she needs some time alone. She leaves the pub, stopping just outside to flash back to her return from the dead on the docks. She looks up into the sky, tears on her face. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of June 16th reveal curveballs and new chapters. Fans can expect Tony DiMera to have a surprising story arc with several characters. Paul Narita and Andrew Donovan will plan their wedding. Also, Chad DiMera could try to ease Kat Green's mind. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Fans know that Paul was really hoping John Black pulled through so he could attend his wedding. The news of John's death has devastated everyone. However, John would have wanted Paul to go ahead and get married. Marlena Evans also encouraged Paul to marry Andrew, so fans might see the couple start on their wedding plans. It would be just like the soap to have the wedding include some way to honor John's memory. Over with Chad, he will likely try to reach out to Kat. Jennifer Devereaux chased Kat away from Chad after the skydiving date. However, Kat totally understood and told Chad that Jennifer and Jack Devereaux have a right to feel the way they do. Chad tried to explain, but Kat hung up on him after promising to stay away. The widow probably doesn't want to stop seeing Kat, though. He knows it's difficult and complicated with Jack and Jennifer. However, Chad might want to continue seeing Kat despite Jennifer's disapproval. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of June 16th reveal that Xander Cook Kyriakis is out on bail. That means Xander will double down on his effort to get Victoria Kyriakis. The more Sarah Horton Kyriakis tries to keep Xander from his baby girl, the harder he will fight. It could even bring out Xander's sinful, manipulative side. Fans could also see Philip Kyriakis wake up soon. Once that happens, Kate Roberts Brady could urge her son to name Xander as the attacker. I'm still not convinced Xander is responsible. I think someone else beat Philip, and Xander walked in and just picked up where they left off. In any case, Kate could decide to take matters into her own hands. Kate could bump into Xander. She's been known to carry handguns and be trigger-happy, so I could see Kate shooting Xander, only to find out he wasn't the one to actually cause Philip's injuries. Belle Black will continue to be drawn to E.J. DiMera. At some point before the end of the month, Sammy Brady returns. In the meantime, Tony kicks off a brand new story arc with some surprising characters on June 20th, so stay tuned. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates reveal that Xander Kyriakis is out on bail. But will he seize the opportunity to take Victoria Kyriakis and flee? Is this resolute father prepared to take extreme measures to snatch his daughter away from Sarah Kyriakis? With Xander and Sarah's marriage now in complete ruins, their attention has shifted to their young daughter. Xander has made it clear that he won't allow Sarah to keep him away from Victoria, and Days spoilers suggest he is serious about it. Naturally, Duel fans are aware that Xander is at a significant disadvantage in this custody battle. Given his extensive criminal record and the fact that he is currently dealing with additional criminal charges, his situation is quite bleak. After all, Xander can't care for Victoria from behind bars. If Xander is found guilty of his actions towards Philip Kyriakis, he could very well face time in prison and lose Victoria in the process. Even if he manages to escape this latest legal trouble, his prospects against Sarah are not promising, given her dedication as a mother and her standing as a respected doctor. During the week of June 9-13, Day's spoilers indicate that Sarah and Xander will confront each other dramatically regarding Victoria's future. While Xander might pledge to fight the charges and assert his role in Victoria's life, Sarah is likely to firmly reject that idea. Day's spoilers hint that Xander's conduct will continue to deteriorate, leaving Sarah with no reason to place her trust in him when it comes to their daughter. If Xander is worried about being banned from Victoria for good, what will his next move be? How far is he willing to go to ensure he stays with Victoria and doesn't face an indefinite separation? It's quite possible that Xander will choose to seize Victoria and make a run for it at some point. We can definitely envision Xander snatching Victoria when Sarah isn't paying attention and making a dash for freedom. This could create the perfect chance for Kate Roberts Brady to retaliate against Xander for pursuing Philip. Once Philip regains consciousness and Kate finally steps away from his bedside, she might find herself in the right place at the right moment to prevent Xander from escaping with Victoria. Kate might be able to hold off Xander just long enough for the police to prevent his getaway with his daughter. However, Xander's desperation to keep his connection with Victoria will only intensify, so keep an eye out for any unfortunate developments that could arise. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that Xander is set to spiral even more out of control in the weeks ahead. Days of Our Lives spoiler are in for Friday, June 13, 2025. Fans can expect Sarah Horton Kyriakis to clash with Xander Cook Kyriakis. Belle Black drops a harsh truth bomb on EJ DiMera. Plus, Sean Brady apologizes to Jada Hunter. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with Zara, who are in a battle over their daughter, Victoria Kyriakis. When Philip Kyriakis was found beaten within an inch of his life, everyone looked at Xander. Then, Xander was arrested but released on bail later. With everyone believing that Xander is guilty, Sarah is fighting to protect her daughter. However, it seems that the custody fight will get really ugly as the weeks go on. Kate Roberts Brady will continue to sit vigil at Philip's bedside. The mother will also continue to plead and pray for Philip to wake up. Of course, there is also the possibility that Kate decides to take matters into her own hands. In the past, she has almost always carried a handgun in her purse and is known for being trigger-happy. So, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Kate went after Xander herself. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for tomorrow's episode reveal that Sean will pay a visit to Jada. Sean will apologize to the commissioner for not being totally honest with her about what he was doing. Of course, Jada will totally understand, especially since it was for Sean's father, Bo Brady. In the next episode, fans can also expect Belle to give EJ a hard truth to process. Fans know that Belle was distracting herself with work before John Black's death. Belle did open up to a few people who all raised their eyebrows at her romance with EJ, so Belle could be reconsidering reconnecting with the man. Of course, EJ will insist that he's changed and is trying to be better. Plus, Alex Kyriakis and Stephanie Johnson will make some time for romance. However, with Stephanie's racy manuscript getting around, I have a feeling that things are about to get a bit complicated, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, June 13, 2025? Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, June 12th imply more emotional moments in Salem, as the town says goodbye to a legend. Loved ones continue to share memories of a fallen hero, while a father continues to mourn his daughter, and a character aims to change the mind of their best friend. What's set to unravel on Thursday's show? Time to find out. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, June 12th indicate that John Black's funeral will wrap up, and as the wake begins, Salemites will come together to share more memories of John. It's been an emotional week in the little town, and it looks like the tears will continue to flow, with some smiles here and there, as everyone remembers the positive impact John left in their lives. Across town, Jack Devereaux will step away from John's memorial to pay his respects to another beloved Salemite. It's been 3 years since Jack's daughter, Abigail DiMera, passed away, and considering all the recent pain he went through when Kat Green paraded around as Abby, it looks like Jack will finally accept that Abigail is gone. Over to Jack's wife, Jennifer Horton Devereaux, will catch up with Julie Williams and Hope Williams Brady. Considering it's been a minute since these three were in the same room, the ladies likely have a lot to catch up on. Speaking of Hope, Days of Our Lives C, spoilers for Thursday hint that her other half, Bo Brady, will aim to change Steve Johnson's mind. Bo can be stubborn in any situation, as Steve can be, but considering he just woke up from technically being asleep for 10 years, will Steve give in to whatever his best friend wants? Are you excited about Thursday's show? Join the conversation below. Watch your favorite soap on Peacock Daily and check out SOS regularly for the hottest Days of Our Lives news and spoilers. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, June 13th. Force Belle to face the fact that she no longer has John's death to hide behind, and that she needs to take the bull by the horns where EJ is concerned. Belle fell into bed with EJ more than once. Then she sort of, fell into a relationship with him. They discussed his very convoluted past with Sammy. They discussed his kids, who are Belle's niece and nephew, and they pretended to discuss the fact that he's pretty much a criminal, and she's the district attorney. But they didn't. Not really. Belle listened to Carrie lecture her about what it's like to fight Sammy for a man. But deep down, Belle knew that wasn't the biggest issue between them. And now, it's time for her and EJ to discuss what the elephant in the room really is. Sean and Jada are working to give Belle the ammunition she needs to bring EJ's shooter to justice. But there is also their on and off personal relationship to deal with. Sean has an apology to make for that. While Kate begs a comatose Philip to please wake up. The guy who put him there, Xander, is fighting Sarah for custody of their daughter. Sarah originally planned to never even tell Xander he had a daughter, so the idea of keeping Victoria from Xander isn't new, except that now, Xander has the resources to really fight her, and he has the ammunition too. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the June 13th, 2025 episode tease a get-together among Salemites, but will it end in murder? It looks like there's going to be a party at the bistro. Jennifer will give Jack a cupcake before they go, while Alex and Stephanie get romantic before they head over. When everyone commiserates at the bistro, they'll cheers. Then Steve and Kayla will video chat someone with Jack and Jennifer. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Kate is still by Philip's side. But Xander is lingering, and the second she steps away, it appears he may try and eliminate his brother for good. In the Thursday, June 12th episode of Days of Our Lives, there were more amazing memories shared. John's chosen family continued their heartfelt goodbye to John Black. Meanwhile, Jack and Jennifer remembered Abigail, while Julie continued to mourn and remember Doug. Plus, Hope felt guilty over getting Bo back while Marlena suffered such a devastating loss. So it looks like we didn't get to see the reception after John's funeral. Instead, John's inner circle was gathered at the pub to remember him in their special way. They gave toasts, they shed tears, and they even drank to their enemies, like Stefano Demera and Orpheus. There were some really interesting beats played and iconic memories remembered. At the pub, Marlena, Steve, Kayla, Shane, Roman, and Bo reflected on the epic adventures, iconic love stories, and the man who was often at the heart of it all, John Black. While at the Horton house, Hope, Julie, and Jennifer remembered the fallen, celebrated Bo's recovery, and reconnected since they've been apart for a while. The greatest hits featured included John saving Marlena from her devil's possession, Steve saying goodbye to Bo and Hope as they left Salem on the Fancy Face to sail around the world. Bo and Hope dressed up like Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler. They even flashbacked with Jack and Jennifer during the doomed cruise of deception. Plus, Julie tried to talk some sense into Bo in Paris. Days brought out the flashbacks and the memories along with toasts and, yes, tears. And it made for yet another memorable and emotional episode. What were your favorite moments from Thursday's episode? Let us know in the comments. Count Anthony Tony Demera has come a long way on Days of Our Lives. He's gone from being a master manipulator to softening up over the years and being a well-liked Salemite. His portrayer, Thao Penglius, has been playing him on and off since 1981, along with Tony's evil twin, Andre. It's been confirmed that the Count is coming back, and Penglius, who credited the writers with his return, teased about what may be in store for him. Penglius shared a classic photo of himself as Tony on X, formerly Twitter, most likely from between 1988 and 92, with the caption, "Just got word Tony DiMera does not return to Duel till Friday, June 20th. It's an interesting story with players I have not dealt with before. But what a game of chess we play. Who could possibly be the victor?" Days Peacock. Since Xander and Philip pulled off a major coup by having Titan Industries take over DiMera Enterprises, it's possible that Tony may get involved. Whatever he'll be doing, the fans were thrilled at his return, with one responding, "Tony has always been one of my favorites. I'm looking forward to his return to Salem." Another follower reacted with the enthusiastic, "Thank you so much, Thao, for letting us know about the date change. Your return to Salem is just the sweetest thing we have been waiting for over 2 years for this. Absolutely cannot wait to see you next week. Cheers to our OG DiMera." The viewers all agreed they were happy to hear of his return, although some lamented that he wasn't at John's funeral. The fans were truly eager to get more of their favorite DiMera on screen, which was summed up by the comment, "OMG, thank you for updating us, Thao. You've got me so intrigued by all this mystery. With this game of chess, I'm sure Tony will be the victor. I'm just so glad we finally get you back." The viewer continued with, "Can't wait to see my favorite DiMera back in business. I'm sure it will be epic." Whatever Tony's getting involved in, it's going to be fun to watch. Days of Our Lives sees Bo Brady back in Salem, and there may be another item on his to-do list. Will he stop by University Hospital to check on his comatose brother, Philip Kyriakis? So obviously, we all know it's been a very sad and busy week with the 3-episode funeral for beloved John Black. One of the best moments this week, I thought, was Bo refusing to obey doctor's orders and insisting that Hope Brady take him home to attend John's memorial service. While Bo is not supposed to be out and about now that he is out of bed and mobile, there could be more people he wants Hope to take him to see. There are many in Salem who, of course, will be thrilled to see Bo on his feet and out of that coma. He certainly dropped jaws at the funeral. One of the people who would like to see Bo is in his own coma, obviously. His little brother, Philip. He remains in the hospital, still not conscious after their other brother, Xander Cook, nearly beat Philip to death for a variety of sins. Let's be real. One of the reasons Xander kicked Philip nearly to death was for stealing the Versix. Xander didn't know that Philip intended to just steal one dose to help save Bo. In the end, John Black's heroics ensured the life-saving medicine made its way to Bo. Hope, Sierra Brady, and Sean Brady were there as Bo beat the sepsis and woke from his 2-year-long coma. But if he heads over to the hospital to see Philip, maybe Bo's presence will bring his comatose brother back. We just saw Bo stun Marlena Evans when he showed up to say thank you and goodbye to John. Hope was insistent that Bo follow doctor's orders, because, of course, she is still scared something could happen and she could lose Bo. But he knows he owes a huge debt of gratitude to John for his sacrifice, and also to Marlena for what Bo's miracle cure has cost her. After shocking Marlena by showing up, we all heard Bo's emotional speech. I was honestly in tears over Brady Black's whole eyebrow tribute. Even though I was laughing, I was also crying. That spot-on imitation he did of his dad, John Black. And all his moods was so well written and so well delivered. Then, to have Bo there talking about how John sacrificed his life to save his dear friend, that had me finishing off half a box of Kleenex. If I'm being honest, even though Bo is supposed to be in the hospital while he recovers, obviously he's now roaming the streets of Salem, determined to show his debt of gratitude to John and Marlena and catch up with loved ones. But what else could Bo do before Hope takes him back to the recovery center? Well, Bo might take a side trip after John's wake at the Brady pub. He may go check in on his brother Philip. Wouldn't it be amazing if he did? The sound of Bo's voice might bring his badly injured brother back from the brink of death. Days fans, of course, are beyond excited to see Bo and Hope back in their hometown of Salem. We knew the hospital staff wasn't going to be able to keep Bo from going to say goodbye to his close friend and honorary brother John. I think Bo knew eventually he was going to be able to convince Hope to take him to John's memorial service. Before leaving the hospital, even before that, Sean and Kiara left. Bo had already learned about 3 deaths that happened over the past 2 years. Of course, one of them very recently. Bo was completely shocked to find out his biological father, Victor Kiriakis, was gone. Then, he found out his father-in-law, Doug Williams, Hope's beloved father, had passed away. And last but by no means least, died from injuries in the lab explosion sustained while saving the Versix, which, in turn, saved Bo's life. What Bo doesn't yet know is that his brother Philip is fighting for his life after being beaten to a bloody pulp by their other brother, Xander. However, Bo was told that Xander is officially his brother. The last Bo heard, Dandy Zandy was Victor's henchman and a much-abused occasional gardener. Soon, Bo may learn about the situation, perhaps while the family is gathered at the Brady pub for John's wake. It might be Kate Roberts who tells Bo about it. There are spoilers that have Kate back up at Philip's bedside later this week, begging her son to wake up. Most people obviously don't know that Bo was on Philip's mind before Xander beat him. If you remember, Philip called up his former high school buddy Kevin Lambert and asked him to steal the Versix from the lab. Philip hoped to help Xander win the bid to buy the hospital. Philip also wanted to prove himself to Xander by getting the drug to save Bo Brady's life in the process. Instead, it turned into a whole ordeal with that meth lab and the explosion. Xander thought the worst of Philip and brutally beat him. We will see if Kate or Roman Brady or someone else fills in Bo at the wake on what has happened to Philip and how his life is on the line right now as well. Recently, if you remember, was absolutely outraged on Days of Our Lives to find out that Xander is out on bail. Our leaker told us that when Philip finally wakes from his coma, he is going to refuse to press charges on Xander. Spoilers also hint that Philip wakes up soon. Now that the events surrounding John Black's sad death and funeral have taken place this week, Philip's storyline is going to move back onto the front burner. It could be next week that Philip wakes up. With Bo himself just waking from a coma and getting a medical miracle, maybe he wants to pay it forward. He'll go pray for a miracle for his brother Philip at his bedside. As to why Bo could be there, maybe Bo's sister, Dr. Kayla Brady, insists that Bo come over and get checked out at University Hospital since he left the facility against doctor's orders. Since he's there, maybe Bo stops in to see Philip. If you remember, Bo hasn't seen Philip in many years. But at one point, they had developed a decent relationship. Of course, Sean and Philip grew up together. They had their share of drama, but ultimately, family is everything. With Bo's new lease on life, he may want to get closer to his Kiriakis family, at least as much as he can, before he leaves town, which is supposed to be coming soon. They are supposed to be back later this year for more storylines, so we'll see on that. One good way for Bo to get closer to the Kiriakis is to stop in and see Philip. He could talk to him and encourage him to wake up. Bo might try to help Philip get his own miracle. Philip was focused on getting the drug for Bo Brady. If Philip, from the cloud of the coma, hears his big brother Bo's voice, maybe Kate will get the miracle she's been hoping for. We'll see. It could be a week of more than one miracle.